have two guests, and I welcome you all in today's live session. If you can hear me properly, or if there is any problem, then you can comment and I will look into it what can be done. And so, I am Niharika Agarwal, and I am a disciple of Param Pujya Yug Tulsi Shri Ram Kinkar Ji Upadhyay. So, Dipendra Kumar Ji, Jai Siya Ram. So, the reason why I have come live in this session is that Yug Tulsi Manas Marma ke Pandit Yug Tulsi Shri Ram Kinkar Ji Upadhyay always wanted, he had a vision that his work should be translated in English so that the youth of today, because we all know we send our children to English medium schools or colleges and they are not that well versed in Hindi, leave alone Sanskrit. I am feeling a bit nervous, so I want to say that I know that most of you in this group are old disciples of Param Puji Maharaj Shri, and please consider me as your kid, and please pardon if I make any mistakes. I will for sure make mistakes, so do pardon me. So, as I told you that Gurudev had that vision that his work should be presented before the youth of not only India, but I would say that worldwide. It should be presented in English, which is easy for them to grasp, and so that they can benefit from Ramcharitmanas, and they don't think that it is just a part of history, and that too whether it is verified or not. So it is our responsibility, and I will also request all of you that as disciples of the greatest guru we should make some contribution in spreading his words or his teachings. We should do in the ways that we can, even if it is very little. So, I am ready to conduct webinars, lectures, or seminars if you people can arrange for it, because if I try to do it myself, I will not be able to collect so many people in one go because I don't have that kind of reach till now. So, now coming back to the topic directly, how is Ramcharitmanas relevant in the life of today's youth? So, I know that this lecture is being watched by mostly the adults and very less of youth. So, I am kind of scared because I won't say the conservative things which might irk the adults. But you know, in Ramcharitmanas, if you have listened to Param Puji Maharash's Katha, you must have known, or even if you read the Ramcharitmanas on your own, if you really pondered over the language of Goswami Tulsidas ji, then you must have found out that whenever two people are talking, for example, if we take the example of Lakshman ji who is talking to Nishad Raj, who is a boatman and who earns his living by rowing the boat and catching the fish. He uses the fish net for catching the fish, and Lakshmanji is while talking to him uses the word net or the fish net, that is jal. So it is very necessary that when two people are talking they should converse in the language which both of them understand. Only then there can be a proper conversation. So when I will be talking to the youth, I suppose I am currently talking to the youth also, because I believe that you all will share this video as much as you can, and it will have a bigger reach than anyone of us can imagine. So it is very necessary to use the language of the youth so that they don't run away from these kind of lectures and they try to find out if there is something that can benefit them in the contemporary time. And that is the topic: how is Ramcharitmanas relevant in the life of today's youth? So I would say that the today today's youth is letting its life run on an autopilot mode. And the contrast is that it has innumerous desires in his heart, but it is not taking the control of its own life. And that is really not that hopeful situation. So the result is that he feels frustrated and turns towards things that grant instant gratification, and we all know what these things are. These are addictions, spending unaccounted time on social media, and partying with friends and things like that. I will not go deep into this because then the youth will feel very intimidated and will not listen what I am going to say. And I know this will not go that well with us adults when we hear that the youth is dominated by powerful people around them, directly or indirectly. And what I mean by that is their own family, the people present at the school or the colleges or even at office, because the youth feels powerless before them. This forces him to make compromises, maybe in relationships, work, or at home, and do things which he otherwise does not want to do, because he is guided by greed and fear, in the sense that he wants to achieve his ambitions, but he is scared that the powerful people around him will snatch all the facilities that they have given to him, because he is currently not that powerful in the sense of money, power, and things like that. So he does all the, I wouldn't say that wrong things, but the instinct of survival forces him to follow that path of greed and fear. He does not know how to work upon himself inside out to make himself powerful enough to take crucial decisions. Yes, whenever there is whenever we are standing at the crossroads and we have to take crucial decisions, then as I said, we are always guided by greed and fear, and we are not able to take decisions which maybe not many people have taken in the past. And the biggest drawback of taking these decisions is that we have to bear the responsibility of these decisions, because no one can predict the future. So, if you take a decision which not many people are taking, then there is a chance that you might fail or you might succeed. So, the youth doesn't have that power or that conviction to take those decisions. And I want to welcome Sir Rudraprayag Sharma and Umakant Mishra ji and Dipendra Kumar ji. संस्कृत में कीजिए, इंग्लिश की जगह अच्छा सर, हम संस्कृत सीखना शुरू करेंगे, फिर थोड़े टाइम बाद हम संस्कृत में भी करने की कोशिश करेंगे। और अगर आपको मेरी इंग्लिश समझ में आ रही है, इसका मतलब आपको इंग्लिश पता है, तो अभी तो फिलहाल हम लोग इसी में बात कर सकते हैं ना, तो संस्कृत में भी करेंगे कुछ साल बाद। So, for this, the youth needs to know its strengths and weaknesses. Because unless you know what you have in your pockets, if you want to buy something which is worth 1,000 bucks and you have only 10 rupees in your pocket, how will you buy it? So you need to know how much strength do you have in what field and what are your weaknesses. He should evolve his thinking power to be able to have a vision and set long term goals. This is a thing that nobody tells you usually, that we should have a vision. Vision is something that you can visualize, you can imagine that in that set period of time I want to do this, and that is called a vision. It's a long term goal, and we are not able to set long term goals, and that is why our success is not that much guaranteed or not that consistent, because we don't make those kind of efforts which are directed towards long term goals. The youth need to have absolute clarity as to what he wants from life in a fixed time period. That is setting realistic goals. As I said in Ramcharitmanas also, I don't want to make it too complicated for the youngsters now, but I will give a small example. Um, that when Lord Ram asked Sugriv to help him to find Sita ji, and Lord Ram gave Sugriv his lost kingdom, his wife, and everything, then Sugriv was so engrossed in enjoying all these materialistic pleasures that he forgot that he has to do the work of Lord Ram. And to cut the story short, Lord Ram waited for quite long, and then he instructed Lakshman ji to scare Sugriv so that he remembers what he has to do. And later on, when Sugriv sends all the monkeys to find Sita ji, he fixed he fixes a certain time period limit, because he knows what is the drawback when we don't have a fixed time period in our mindset, because it is very necessary. If we don't do that, then we become lazy and careless. And the goals which are realistic and long term goals, they are very important to set, but the youth should also see that what are his current capabilities and interests. For example, if you want to be good in boxing, but you cannot challenge the world champion initially, first you have to see that if you don't know the abcd of boxing, and you have to learn it, you have to practice it, then only you can think of challenging the world champion. So that is why he should also know how to work on his capacities and interests to be stronger and passionate towards what he chooses to do with time, because passion is very necessary. If you choose any goal and you're not passionate about it, then you will get bored and you will not stay focused in it. So Ramcharitmanas helps you in achieving all of this. The youth also needs to know how he should sustain himself when the things are not favorable, because when you start something new, you don't know what are the repercussions of the decisions that you make. So it might be an unprecedented situation, you don't have any idea that what is coming. So it is very necessary that you should be persistent and sustain yourself and don't run away from the situation. The youth should not wait for the things to be favorable for him. Instead, he should be in the driving seat. So, if you remember the first point, I said the youth is letting its life run on an autopilot mode, and he should actually be in the driving seat. He should also have that unflinching patience and faith that will help him sail through difficult times, because as we know, life is not easy for anyone. As I told you, there are so many surprising situations, and the youth doesn't have a past how to deal with them. So, it is very necessary that he should have that patience to wait, to look into things deeply, and have that unflinching faith that he will be able to come out of it as a victor. In fact, he will learn to see the most difficult times as the greatest opportunities. For example, if I tell you about myself, then I had done um, the bridal course in makeup from Lakme Academy in the beginning of this year, and I was about to open my makeup studio. But as we know, we all have faced this COVID situation. And then I thought that no businesses are running. Everybody was so hopeless. And then I decided that I found out what businesses are running. And then I recently opened my cloud kitchen. Guys, please wait. My phone is on general mode and the messages are. Let me make it on the silent mode. And I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I should have done it earlier. So now I opened a cloud kitchen. So I was able to decide what to do at the right time, and my business is running well. So the youth must know the ways through which he can get what he wants and still not get exploited by others or fall into tempting bait traps. So, what I said earlier also, that the life is guided by greed and fear. So, the youth wants something. It may be a good job, a good business, a good bungalow, a good car, gadgets, or trip. Abroad trips, which is not possible in current times, but in future. So he must do it through the right way, through the smart way, through the intelligent way, and let not his weaknesses help others who can exploit him and ask him to do things that they want. And he has to do things because he wants some things in return for which he is ready to do anything. It's a bit confusing, but I hope you must have understood. The youth can move mountains with their energy, intelligence, passion, vitality of emotions, but instead their energy is wasted here and there, leading to laziness, depression, and anxiety. Such sad situation. Ramcharitmanas helps to rejuvenate that lost belief in one's own self and know the value of being human, and realizing its infinite capacities help the youth achieve success with focused and clear mind. So verbally we say that this human birth is so precious, but we don't feel that. We are always feeling that we are sad, we are not successful, we are trapped in a cage, we don't have that absolute freedom and all. But this is not the truth. Even the deities are so jealous of this human birth. And so Ramcharitmanas helps to realize that worth and utilize all the capacities that we have got through this birth. Ramcharitmanas tells you how to understand thoughts, what is thinking, overthinking, positive thinking, emotional thinking, etc. etc. Because I have observed that there is so much confusion whether you should think or you should be thought free and all these things. So Ramcharitmanas clears all these doubts. It clears the doubts about should you have thoughts or no thoughts. It helps you identify what is illusion and what is reality, which can be exactly contrary to what you believe. Maybe what you believe as reality is illusion according to Ramcharitmanas. So it gives you a clarity of thought. Ramcharitmanas hugs you as you are, and that is really very very comfortable and relaxing, because we see everyone around us is ready to change us every moment, but Ramcharitmanas says that you come as you are and you have to leave nothing. You come with what you have, because in spirituality we think that we have, if we have to enter spirituality, we have to leave our comforts, our money, our passions, our that exotic lifestyle that we are leading. But it is not a prerequisite to enter spirituality. Instead, it guides you and assists you with the power, the wisdom, and strategy, the confidence to achieve everything you want. Whether it is money, yes, why not? Dharma, desires, or enlightenment, Ramcharitmanas is ready to give you everything that you want. It tells you that you do not become inferior if you have desires. So that is what all other scriptures and people are saying, that you have to leave this, you have to leave that, you should not have any desires. And then the youth finds it impossible. It says our life has just begun. What have we taken birth for if we cannot even enjoy our life? So Ramcharitmanas tells you that no problem, it's okay. And even if the youth has any shortcomings, then Ramcharitmanas helps in the fulfillment of the desires and empowers you to be successful in everything. It doesn't curse you for your shortcomings, it helps to empower you. And it guarantees 100% happiness, which is everlasting, because we have that graph of sadness and happiness. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad, and like that. So Ramcharitmanas helps you to be happy, and that feeling is constant. So guys, this was it. I know it was a bit long, and you people bore with me. And so now I want to request you that if you can arrange for webinars, then I would really, really love to conduct them for the youth and the kids, because it is very, very necessary that the youth and the kids can get some help to lead a good life. Because when they see people around them who are lecturing them also, then they don't find it that they don't find clarity in what people are saying, because there are so many people and they say their own thing. So Ramcharitmanas is the, I would say, it is the nectar of all the scriptures, which leaves the unessential things, and it is focused. As we say, there are so many sweets in the market. One can say that the basic ingredient is sugar and butter, but not everyone likes the same sweet. So Ramcharitmanas helps every person who has a different personality, who has different likes, who has different passions, who has different capabilities. It helps everyone to achieve what they want. So that was it. And I hope you like this and you will share it as much as you can. And if we can organize webinars, seminars, or lectures, I have mentioned my email ID. You can contact me through it. And now I am signing off, and Jai Sri Ram.